Content.
I had another new idea. I'm going to make a computer that doesn't really come with any components in it, because this gives you a really low price. And the price, I realize, is related to this. It's production power price. I always presumed this was the manufacture cost, and that's what you're selling it at. This isn't necessarily the manufacturing cost. It's how much of your industrial capacity it takes up to make one. And I realize this very late into the game, I realize. So if we make computers that actually don't take much to build and don't have any features, then we can produce more of them and get more sales, and thus dominate more of the market, which we're just losing more and more of. So I'm going to do a little experiment with. Doesn't technically work, but you won't realize until it's too late. There's no display, no video card, there's no RAM, so it just literally can't work. And there's no input, there's no CD drive or anything like that, so you can't interact with it really. It has the voice commanded operating system. Can we make that? Yeah, we're allowed to make that. All right, just test that. It performs like a piece of shit. I mean, like a good piece of shit. It performs like hot shit. It's got tons of features, really easy to use. It just literally won't turn on. That's the only downside, is there aren't sufficient parts plugged in to its high quality motherboard to make it run. If you take the RAM out of your computer and turn it on, nothing happens. You need some RAM in there. So I don't know what we're going to do with this. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to sell billions of them. That's what we're going to do with it, right? Because people won't realise it technically doesn't work until it's too late. And I'm sure there'll be no word of mouth about how it doesn't work. Just throw it out there. I'm bored. Throw it out there. Sold 2,000. People are buying it, you idiots. I think this is the way forward. It did drop demand for our products overall as they realise this is really bad, but I think this might be the way forward. Stop. That's weird. It's selling in exactly 2,000 increments every day. It's just selling 2,000 a day. Yeah, just sell 2,000 a day. This seems like a money laundering scheme. How are we selling exactly 2,000 every day? Something's going very wrong here, but yeah, I think this might work, because now, this isn't the demand for machines. This is how much production power we need to fulfill demand which we don't know about. So there is a demand for a number of machines, and now that we're selling a machine that's easier to make, the demand on our production capacity is down, but our demand overall isn't necessarily down. That's how it's working. So we might be selling more, for all I know. It's just requiring less industrial capacity to do it. Our market share is still going down, so I mean, we're probably not realistically, but the idea is there. And how this is good. This is good. It doesn't have RAM, but it has a higher feature score than our actual fucking computers, and it's just as easy to use, and it's even higher quality. I don't understand this. It's quite amazing. What happened? What happened? What happened? Cheap and Great took over everything. They just they invented something. They invented something, didn't they? They invented something really good, but I don't know what it is. Because I can't buy it, whatever it is. It's not allowed in our offices. And now they're selling way more than us. Wait a minute. This timescale. This is the future. Wait. Is this a projection that they're going to beat us in 2029? What is this? I'm not sure what's happening. Only we must be here. They've invented something. They fucking invented something, but I don't know what they did. But we're going to take them downtown. It doesn't really matter what Cheap and Great are doing, obviously, because we have invented the easiest to use operating system of all time. It's a picture of a brain. We'll see why in a second. I want this to work on all different types of things. Where is it? It's called the ThinkBook Brain Manager. It basically turns you into a cyborg, and the operating system controls you. Now that's easy to fucking use. Or something, I don't really know. Oh, you need implants as well. So you implant it into your brain, and it just tells you what to do. So that's pretty good, isn't it? It's pretty fucking cheap. It's pretty cheap. It's pretty cheap to put that in a machine, and it's going to just jack it through the absolute roof. But we've seen before that completely annihilating the competition in terms of features. Like, no one actually cares. So this may or may not do anything. Let's put a copy protection virus on it so people can't clone themselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to enslave the human race using this new PC. Now this is a PC, remember, that you implant into your brain, so it's a tiny bit dangerous, and it's only 1993, so it's early days, but we're going to do it anyway. Now what we've learned is we only want to put essential features into it just to get its score up. So we don't need a graphics card because graphics cards don't add to the score much. CPUs also don't really add to the score much, but you kind of have to put one in to make it work. You don't need anything, most of the stuff apparently to make it work. So we need the operating system. That gives it its feature score and its ease of use and allows it to control people's minds. Okay, so that's the start. For our storage, we're going to put in this brain matter implant. I've made it so it's really cheap, but it has extreme performance, no features for some reason, and loads of quality. So this just makes sure we have the CPU power, the performance power to run the human brain, just to make sure, you know, they have no free will. We need everything under control from the machine. Now it needs a motherboard apparently. We'll put in the Brain Slaver 1993, that sounds perfect. Great features, so that's going to bump our feature score up really high. Is that all we need? I think you only need to fill in the red bits. As for accessories, nothing. Yeah, cancel, that's good. No accessories. It doesn't need a display because you can see through your own eyes. We don't need like a DVD drive. It would improve performance, but we've learned that people don't give a flying fuck. Oh shit! I forgot, if you don't assign a part, it fucking cancels the entire fucking thing. I think I'm fucking good. How can it possibly work with only these components? I mean, so we've got a really good score using only a CPU, a motherboard, a hard drive, and an operating system. There's no screen, because that's your eyes. The power supply is like your own digestive system. GPU, I mean, you're looking at reality, so it doesn't need any of that. Memory, I guess what's left of your brain will have to function as memory, and there's no removable media. I guess people can talk to you. That's how they input data to the machine. So you can become the thrall or famous CEO blowjobbers. We can now mind control people using this machine, hopefully, as long as it works. We'll just test it to make sure we actually can mind control people. And we can sell it cheap. Now, I think you'll agree with me, ladies and gentlemen, when you look at these scores, this machine is cheap. Great. Cheap. Great. So, do we know what that means? Gird your loins for some disappointment, children. This ain't gonna do fucking shit. Cheap and Great must have invented a laptop or something. How are they taking over the world? I realise we need to release our slave thing on the other things as well. So make a home computer version of the enslaving technology, so anyone who doesn't have a PC can still get in and having their mind dominated by a mysterious fat man who lives in space. And we've also, we finished testing this, so go ahead and sell that. People are buying it. Right, so look at demand dropping. Oh, no, that's good. No, that's good. So production demand's dropping because I'm making something easy to produce. We might still be getting a lot of sales overhaul. Okay? Okay. Now we just need to do the same thing for the bullshit. Just the lump with like the 70s lump and a tablet computer that also dominates your mind has to have a display. The tablet computer, absolute bullshit. And maybe this will make something good happen. So there we go, we're now selling only devices that enslave your mind to a mysterious spaceman / global tyrant wannabe, except his rival keeps stealing his stuff. And it's selling really, really well, especially for some reason the home computer version, which is the worst one. It sold almost 1 million. There's no display. It's just a fucking box. It doesn't even have those flashing lights from back at the beginning of the game. It's just a box that enslaves your mind, which you can buy for your house. But it's selling great. We're selling it pretty cheaply, to be honest. People love getting their fucking minds enslaved, so that's good. Well, are we even making money anymore? I can't tell. No, we're actually losing money selling all this stuff. I better actually sell it for more since people want it so much. There we go, so we make some money on it. It's just absolute bullshit. There we go, that's got demand to a more reasonable level. But it hasn't gained us any market share, even though this is like the easiest to use thing ever. Like its ease of use score is again 10 times higher than our previous generation of tech. Just no interest. Just no interest. Well, cheap and great. They're outselling us with some fucking thing, whatever it is. Even though there's thing fucking dominates the mind. You go into the shop, it just takes control of your brain and forces you to buy it, but still Cheap and Great are outselling us. I don't know what they're doing. Wait, don't tell me their products are cheap and great. I don't know what we can do. I know. We can't solve that problem. We can't solve the cheap and great problem. I keep inventing better batteries, hoping it'll let me build a laptop so we can get into that market. Because maybe they're just selling fuck tons of laptops. Oh god, they've actually overtaken us now. We are now the second biggest company after cheap and great. How are we falling from grace so hard? This fall from grace all started when I stopped selling the fucking cheaper star, greater star machine, which was the ultimate computer, apparently. I wonder, there's one possibility. They're still like dominating for ease of use in a lot of places. Is the problem that when it decides, like when the virtual market decides what to buy, it looks at the highest score on your thing. So like, while my slave console is really easy to use, it's got more features than ease of use. So like, it's considered to be a feature machine, so even though it's got great ease of use, it can't compete in the ease of use markets. That might be what's happening. I mean, if that is happening, all we need to do is just pop up a little personal computer. Can we make one that's just easy to use? So it's got our slave thing. Oh, but the slave thing itself adds so much feature score that it... Okay, we need a new version of the slave operating system that doesn't add too many features. It's just easy to use. Like, it doesn't do anything, but you won't get confused using it, at the very least. Is that even going to be possible? I can't put a motherboard in because they're too featureful. It'll overcome the ease of use. We need to actually make a new motherboard that doesn't have any features. This motherboard, does it need to exist at all? Like, will this do? No, we need to... What's the shittest thing we can do? I forgot. What's a shit motherboard? What even are these things? PROM. PROM was something from the beginning of the game. PROM. Feature score of 1, quality 0. There we go. How does it even cost any money to produce? Fucking reduce that cost. I want this to be fucking free. Right, it's just nothing. Just nothing. Northing, it's called. The Northing motherboard. Put that in my computer. Okay. Damn it! How features still higher than ease of use? But this thing, there must be a way. There must be a way I can implant things in people's brains without it being considered a feature. How about just this? Let's see, here's the base score. Yeah, for whatever reason, the ease of use just drops once you leave that menu, and I don't really know why. So... Oh, this is actually this one's slightly more. Okay, there we go. Now ease of use is slightly above features. So now we just need to throw in our 70s melted CPU. Shit, that was 1,000 features. Okay, this old thing from the 80s, right. Ease of use and features are now dominant. Performance is nothing. Quality, I think we actually do need quality, but is there a way to add quality without adding features? There's this, but that adds 45,000 performance, so we can't do that. That would just make it an insane performance machine. Maybe, okay, this is going to be our feat. Oh, for fuck's sake, I forgot you can't add shit. Alright, global computer market. What do you think of this? It's called easy features. It's really easy to use, but it's got she's got quite a lot of features, but the main thing you'll remember about it is it's easy to use. You just implant it into your brain, and don't worry about the motherboard, it's just nothing, right? And I guess it doesn't really do anything. Well, actually, it does a lot of stuff, but it does it really fucking slowly, so you won't fucking notice if it's done anything. You'll wake up a few months later, does that do anything? Oh, I don't even know. No one's buying it. No? No one wants that? It's really easy to use, guys. Really easy to use? No? it's cheap. You don't want that? It's... No? No. Well, I guess that doesn't work. That theory's out the window. Well, not necessarily. Maybe it needs to have a certain amount of other things to sell at all. But then, yeah, if we add other things, then ease of use will end up still being the lowest score, and fucking cheap and great with the easy to use but doesn't do anything else machine will still be dominating all these ease of use markets. And we research like the ultimate ease of use technology, but it always adds other things as well, so we can't focus on ease of use. It's just the worst. It's just the worst. We're doomed. Well, we've got infinite money. We can place research everything in the game now and never make any goddamn more machines, which is what we're going to have to do because I'm depressed. I mean, we're actually just enslaving people's minds using our technology now. We're still losing, so I think we have to throw in the towel and admit that cheap and great are just aliens with psychic technology. They don't even sell fucking computers. They're just a fucking prostitution racket and they're just getting tons of sales and somehow they're competing with me. Don't get it. Stop outselling me. What did you invent? Why does this graph... I'm sure the timescale must be wrong. Like, this must be the present. And this is what they've done. They invented something. And while we haven't really done that much worse than we were doing previously, cheap and great just dominated us. They've just blown us out of the water with some absolute bullshit. Oh well, let's just go home and kill ourselves. Oh, I'm already at home, in space. That's nice, said Blow Roberts, looking down at the world he once ruled slightly. He once 2/3 ruled it. Now he slightly doesn't rule it, compared to Cheap and Great. Ugh, that's my review of this game. Ugh. Amazing. So guys, remember to like, comment and subscribe.